Does anybody remember Super Pac-Man? The arcade game that was released in 1982, 2 years after the original Pac-Man game, which was highly successful. Everybody knows what Pac-Man is, everybody has seen that game, but have they seen Super Pac-Man? Now, when people talk about the successor to Pac-Man, they may look at Miss Pac-Man as the successor, but in actuality, I don't think that's the case. I don't think that was ever really the case. Especially when you take into consideration that Miss Pac-Man wasn't even developed by Namco, but was developed by Midway. And aside from that game having different maze designs and being slightly easier than the original Pac-Man, it's really just a female version of Pac-Man. Super Pac-Man retains the maze-style gameplay that the original Pac-Man established, but instead of eating dots, it's entirely centered around eating food. But before I get ahead of myself, let me just say that the Ghost Gang is back, and the Power Pellets are back too. Two crucial mechanics that operate the same way as they did before. Now, I'll get to why this game is called Super Pac-Man in just a minute. But first, let's talk about how the keys are used as a new mechanic in the game. Now, originally keys were the equivalent to bonus fruit in the original Pac-Man, which is something that you would be able to collect after clearing so many rounds. But in Super Pac-Man, the keys have been repurposed for a new mechanic, which are barricades that enclose target items, which are the food items that you get depending on which round you're in. Similarly to the original Pac-Man, after each round that you clear, target items change and their point value increases. But in the mazes, you'll notice that there are barricades enclosing the target items. Keys unlock those barricades, and depending on which key you grab, depends on what barricade you unlock. And the barricades that unlock from the keys you collect vary from round to round. Some of the later rounds, for example, will have keys that you collect unlock barricades completely opposite of your position. You could eat a key that's on the top left of the maze, and then it will unlock a barricade on the bottom right. Like sometimes you'll be eating the keys trying to open some barricades, and you can't even see where the barricades are open because you're trying to focus on your position. You could probably see in the gameplay itself that some of those keys and barricades were tripping me up. Very clever design for an arcade game for sure. A good way to get those quarters and tokens out of people. Now let's talk about the other new mechanic, the reason this game is called Super Pac-Man, the Super Pellet. Now, if you couldn't guess this already, the Super Pellet will transform Pac-Man into Super Pac-Man. With this, he grows very large, which allows him to not only bypass ghosts, but also break down barricades without keys. And if you're good at the game, you could probably cheese like the first few rounds or so. One other thing that Super Pac-Man can do is move faster, as there's a button that allows Super Pac-Man to speed up. But this could also make making turns a little bit tricky. And by the way, unlike the Power Pellets, which there are 4 of in each maze, there are only 2 Super Pellets in each maze. And like I mentioned a second ago, the Super Pellets let Super Pac-Man bypass the ghosts, but you still need a Power Pellet to eat the ghosts. Now, just like the original Pac-Man, I probably said that 3 times now, with every round that you clear, the Ghost Gang becomes more resistant to the power of the Power Pellets. Same can be said with the Super Pellets, which lose their effect faster with each round making them much more valuable, to the point where you have to use them more sparingly, forcing you to get the keys so that you can unlock the barricades. Also, every once in a while you'll get taken to a bonus stage, where you race the clock to eat everything in the maze. and after every few rounds or so, you will be greeted with a cutscene, similarly to the original Pac-Man, where you get to see how Pac-Man and the ghosts interact with each other. Another thing I've noticed is that a lot of the sound effects are different, and there's actually a bit more music this time around. Whereas the original game only had maybe 2 pieces of music, there's probably like 3 to 5 pieces of music in this game, including a victory theme and a game over theme as well. I really like this game. It's a really fun and interesting take on the Pac-Man formula. They really could have just remade the same game with new mazes and call it a day, but it really wouldn't have been enough to do that. Besides, Miss Pac-Man already did that, but with this game they actually made something fresh while staying true to the Pac-Man formula. I think I would go so far as to say that I actually enjoy Super Pac-Man more than Pac-Man. But then again, I could probably say that about a lot of other Pac-Man games, but that's for another time. As I record this, we have less than 2 days before Pac-Man World 2 Repack comes out. I'm really looking forward to that game. It's one of my most anticipated games this year. I wanted to make a video on this game first before the game comes out, because obviously once that game comes out, this video and this game are gonna be irrelevant for quite some time. Also, you'll most likely notice the voice difference, as this commentary is being recorded on 2 different days. But anyway, that's gonna be it for this video. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you enjoy it, and I will see you again next time. Have a blessed day.